When it comes to the move towards electrification, few brands have embraced it quite like Hyundai, and few cars have made an impact like the Ioniq 5 has. This car has struck a chord with people who wanted to go electric. I think it's what we always expected cars of the future to look like. Hyundai made a chance of building a car which looked like it was from the future. It looked like a spaceship, and so many people fell in love with the Ioniq 5, including myself. Of course, we also got the extremely spicy N version as well, that just showed that Hyundai could do it all. Whether it was your everyday family car, whether it's a compact city car like the Insta, or whether it's a performance car like the Hyundai Ioniq 5N, they know how to build electric cars and they know how to build them well. But they're not just sitting back and relaxing, they're still elevating every one of their products. The Hyundai Ioniq 5 has had a facelift within the past year, and in today's video I'm going to tell you all of the changes and give you some of the key details that you need to know about the latest generation of Ioniq 5. So if that sounds good, then please keep watching, and if you like new car reviews and car content, then you're in the right place. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button and join the John Banks Review YouTube channel. And if you did want to take a look or take a spin in an Ioniq 5 or anything else in the Hyundai range for yourself, then you can do that at John Banks Hyundai in Cambridge. I'll pop all the details in the description box down below. First of all, however, why don't we take a look at the exterior and see what's changed there? On the outside, the facelifted Ioniq 5 looks instantly familiar, but Hyundai has given it a cleaner, more modern edge. The front gets a redesigned bumper and new LED V-garnish light signature, which gives the car a sharper, more futuristic look without moving away from the pixel theme that everyone loves. It's the same silhouette, just refined. Around the back, there's a new rear bumper and an extended roof spoiler, which doesn't just tweak the styling, it also helps a little with the aerodynamics. And of course, the big thing which existing owners will be really happy to see is the update of the addition of a rear wiper, a proper physical rear wiper. And Hyundai, when they first announced this car, said that you wouldn't need a rear wiper because it doesn't really get dirty with the tapered off rear window. However, as you can very much see here in this wonderful British weather, it does get very dirty. So the addition of a rear wiper will be very well received. Hyundai has also introduced new wheel designs, including fresh aero-optimised 19 and 20-inch options that help efficiency while giving the car a more contemporary feel. The pixel lighting elements have also been subtly updated as well, giving the Ioniq 5 its distinctive retro-futuristic look, but making it feel more polished. And finally, there's new colour options in the range too, giving buyers a little more choice and letting the facelift stand out just enough from the original model. Overall, the changes aren't dramatic, but together they give the Ioniq 5 a more mature, more resolved presence on the road. As for the lineup, it's nice and simple. So you've got two different battery sizes, 63 or 84 kilowatt hours, and they both start with a rear-wheel drive motor setup. The standard range gives you 170 PS, and the long range steps that up to 228 PS. And if you want a bit more traction and a bit more punch, you can go for the dual motor all-wheel drive version at the top of the range, and that's the one that I'm driving today. Trims are split into Advance, Premium, N-Line, N-Line S like this one, and Ultimate. The first two can be paired with either battery, while the N-Line and above come with the bigger pack as standard. So whether you want affordability, maximum range, or that extra confidence of all-wheel drive, there's a version which fits how you drive. Do you know what I love? I love brands that listen to the feedback of their customers and they actually make changes on those issues. Before, customers said that it was quite difficult to find things like heated seats and the heated steering wheel because although you do have a separate screen for your climate control, it was tricky to find it on that screen. But now they've added more buttons, and more buttons will always be a good thing in my books. So now on this centre console, if you go for this higher spec model, I've got cooled seats, heated seats and a heated steering wheel, which is really lovely. And I also love the fact that with this car, it has a physical on-off switch. And that may seem a little bit strange because a lot of the time with electric vehicles, you don't have an on-off switch. The on-off switch is literally your bottom. So as you get in the car, it turns the car on, and as you get out of the car, it turns it off. But do you know what? It's been really nice in this car because I've been filming today. I've left my heated seats and my heated steering wheel on, and then every time I've got into the cabin, because it's still turned on, it's nice and toasty and warm, and I've got a warm bum and warm hands. It's lovely on a day like today, and I think it's nice to have the option to be able to do that manually, because sometimes it's annoying when the car keeps switching off every time you get in and out when you don't want it to. Now, other changes is also one of my favourite things. So previously you had a white surround of this touchscreen here. So we've got a digital driver's display which flows seamlessly into the central touchscreen, but previously that was surrounded with white and it just didn't look right. However, they now have a black surround and it feels much more seamlessly integrated into this cabin. You also have more materials inside this cabin which are a bit better quality. So there's less plastic and you'll find fabric and leathers across the dashboard. You've also got leathers on top of the doors as well, so it feels much higher quality. But once again, everything we know and love from the Ioniq 5 is still here. And you've still got this sliding centre console. So if you've got somebody sitting in the rear seats in the middle, then you can slide it all the way forwards and that gives them extra legroom. But if you haven't, you can slide it backwards and then that means that you've got more space for front seat passengers. And it's also easier for rear seat passengers to be able to access the storage inside this centre console. It's very customisable, which I think is brilliant for family life. The one thing I will note when it comes to storage is you used to get the storage drawer, which was where the glove box used to be, but now you just have a standard glove box. I assume that Hyundai realised that customers just didn't need that huge drawer. Now, out on the road, this updated Ioniq 5 feels more polished, more grown up than the version that we already knew. Hyundai hasn't changed the overall character of this car. It's still relaxed, smooth, and incredibly easy to live with. But the tweaks that they've made really do add up. The biggest upgrade, of course, is the new 84 kilowatt-hour long-range battery, and it instantly makes the car feel better suited to long-distance driving, with more real-world confidence and far less sensitivity to cold weather or faster speeds. Hyundai has also revised the rear axle and retuned the dampeners, which gives the car a slightly more settled, more composed feel over rougher British roads. It's still a comfort-focused EV, but now it just feels that much more refined. Out on the motorway, the Ioniq 5 is properly relaxing. It's quiet, stable, and just very easy to get along with. The regen is simple to adjust, visibility is good, and the whole driving experience just feels natural and predictable. It isn't trying to be sporty, unless of course you're talking about the full-fat Hyundai Ioniq 5N. But as an everyday family EV, the updates are exactly what was needed. Range and charging are also strong points. So the long-range model now offers up to 354 miles, while the standard range 63 kilowatt-hour version gives you up to 273 miles. Whichever battery you choose, the Ioniq 5 still charges incredibly quickly too. Thanks to its 800-volt architecture, you can go from 10 to 80% in as little as 18 minutes on a 350 kilowatt charger. And now, every trim gets battery preconditioning, heating and a heat pump as standard, which helps massively in winter. The rear doors of the Ioniq 5 open super wide, so it's really easy to load in child seats, making it extra practical. Once inside, you have loads of room. So I have a ton of legroom and loads of headroom as well, even with this panoramic sunroof. And this panoramic sunroof really helps to flood the cabin with light. This car is a little bit dark if you don't go for the panoramic sunroof. Now, with this being the top spec N-Line S, not only do you get electric seats in the front, but you even get them for rear seat passengers. So you can even slide this bench forwards and backwards, and that means that you can give extra boot space if you need to store more items in there, or you can slide them all the way backwards and give your rear seat passengers extra legroom. Not to mention, this car can still come with rear child blinds, and you even get heated rear seats. As I said, just like the front, this car is really configurable for family life. You also have a central armrest which pulls down to reveal a couple of cup holders, and you get USB-C chargers, a little bit of storage in that centre console, and you also have air vents which can be accessed on the side of the car. Boot space in this updated model remains exactly the same as before, and that's no bad thing. With all 5 seats in place, you get 520 litres to play with, which is very competitive for an electric family car. It'll easily be big enough for all of your luggage, shopping, or for a couple of larger suitcases for a weekend away. The opening is nice and wide too, so loading bulkier items is straightforward. Fold the rear seats down and they split at a 60-40, and the space expands to 1,580 litres. That gives you a huge flat load area that's ideal for bigger trips to the tip, sports gear, or even the odd IKEA run. The loading lip is relatively low, which helps when sliding heavier items in and out. There are no changes to the boot design or dimensions as part of the facelift. Hyundai has kept the layout identical, so if you're familiar with the previous Ioniq 5, you'll feel right at home in terms of practicality. And as before, you also get the storage underneath the bonnet. Whether you want to call it a fruit or a frunk, there's storage underneath here. However, because I have the all-wheel drive version, you will only find 24 litres, which really looks about enough space to fit a laptop, or maybe your charging cables if you really squash them in there. But if you go for the rear-wheel drive option, then that actually stretches to a much more usable 57 litres. The Ioniq 5 is a perfect example of if it's not broke, then it doesn't need fixing. The 5 was already an excellent family EV, but Hyundai have now tweaked it to make it even better than before. Of course, that larger battery and more range is going to be great for those people who need to do those longer distances. And the tweaks on the exterior and interior answer a few problems from before and just keep it looking fresh and modern. But let me know, what do you think of the Ioniq 5? I know that this car has remained people's favourite electric car on the market, but let me know all of your thoughts down below. Don't forget, if you wanted to test drive this one or the Ioniq 5N or anything else in the Hyundai range, then you can do that at Hyundai Cambridge. I'll pop the details down below. I really hope you have enjoyed this video and you found it helpful. If you did, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up, and if you want to see more, then you know what to do. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Until next time guys, see you later.